welcome to my mom's channel. Please subscribe on mommy's video, and I love you so much. Bye.
Yay! Hi guys. As my daughter has said, I really would love you guys to join our family and subscribe. My name is Rutendo Diopara. Today I am here to discuss one question that many or most of the people always ask me, what is my perception on that? And I'm like, I think this topic we must bring it to the YouTube and see how it goes, right? So the topic is, yes guys, the topic is, how do you know you have the right person in your life? That's a tough one, right? I just use my own life, I think, on most of the things that I'm gonna be explaining. I have 4 points that I'm gonna be measuring, or should I say focusing on. I understand there's a lot that people can use as criteria to whether I have the right person or not, but for me, I'm gonna focus on these 4 criteria, because for me, I use this criteria till today. That's what I use. I also do focus on others, but let's just jump into my own criterias, right? The first one, I think it's motivated by my spiritual father, where I actually attend church. He emphasized a lot on this first point. The first point is purpose, right? So purpose is defined as one existence. Why are you here, right? And most people, or most of the time, we make the decision of measuring whether the person is for us or not because of how they look, or their behavior, or they're beautiful, or una 6-pack, or those things. But those things, they fade away with time, right? Because we grow, we don't stay young with all the assets that people are rating us based on. But I feel like purpose, which is one thing that God has brought you on earth for, it's what should be your dominate factor, or your decision factor, right? Because for example, if the purpose of somebody else is, so if the purpose of a person is to be a businesswoman or a businessman, and the person you're falling in love with, they are called to be a sportsman, right? It might be okay at the beginning of the relationship, because it's a honeymoon stage, we're trying to fit each other's careers, and forget that that can't be a long-term factor, because as the businessman or a businesswoman pursue the future and continue to be as innovative as they can be, and you wanting to be also pursuing your character and run, if you're a runner, or jump, or whatever that you are doing, you might find that you are drifting away as you grow into your purpose, right? And that might cause a little bit of friction in the relationship, or not a little bit, it might cause you guys to drift away from each other, or it might create even hate, because now you feel like the other one feel they are more important than the other, and you're not getting much of the support and things like that. So it is important to understand the purpose of the person. Let's say the purpose of the person is to become a doctor, and you are a community healer. You might relate, right? And you might not have to be dealing with issues of not considering each other in the future, right? I hope I'm making sense. And that, I feel like purpose is more than anything. Like, why are you here on earth must be one of your criteria that you actually put effort in terms of whether you have the right person or not. Because at the beginning, you might be in a honeymoon stage where you're loving each other, nothing is wrong. But as you pursue life and as you pursue the future and you pursue your purposes, you might start drifting away, and it might cause issues and things like that, because you have different values and purpose and vision and stuff like that, right? Which I would say purpose is very important, right? You look into that one and see how you can, and also look at whether you can fulfill the purpose of the next person, and especially women, right? When we are married, the husband might have a certain vision that we need to support and drive. So is it something that I'm capable of driving and help him achieve, and while he's also helping me to achieve that which I believe I'm also called for? So purpose is important. It's very important. The second thing, I would say principles. Some people, they project, or they do have good principles, right? They are humble, they're more loving, they are just amazing spaces on this earth. But their character, their attitude, their ego, self-centered, right, might be what do you call it in English? Let me just check here. It might be a challenge, right? It might be a challenge, because now if somebody is self-centered, they will never put you first on anything or think of you. So you will be dealing with being neglected in the relationship, or this person have an ego in which when you don't even understand what to do, right? They are up there when you want to just drive your Tesla, somebody wants to drive BMW, which is nothing wrong, but with maybe they're doing it under ego, they can't really afford, and now so those are the things that we look at, that what type of principles am I willing to compromise to live with this person, right? It's very important to look at what principles you're willing to compromise on, and then that will also be one factor that determine whether you are with the right person or not. And the other one is, I do not want to dwell into each maybe deeper and all those things, but I'm just highlighting so you have an idea when I finish the video that you have the right person or not, right? I'm gonna say, I give my perception. If you do know, you think you don't have the right person, towards the end of the video, what to do, right? Just watch the video and make sure you stay until the end so you can see what I think you should do if you think you don't have the right person, right? So the other one is family. Guys, your family is important. Remember, you are the career of the next generation. So some people, they are not peaceful. Some families, hey, they are not peaceful at all, right? Are you going to be the one who carry the generation of, and I do believe that we can cut off those things, but I'm just saying, these people, they don't have peace. Now you have a child or children with these people, you become, or you wear these problems now, right? Now you are dealing with this problem now and again, whatever. Beside the unpeaceful family and all those things, let me come to me. I am married to a Nigerian man, right? And the perception that people have about Nigerians will shock you, or you know. You don't have to be shocked, right? For those who don't know, it will shock you, the perception that people have about Nigeria. So I had to consider that being married to a Nigerian person, I might be rejected. Some people, they might not be my friends. My family member will actually walk away and not want to be part of my relationship, which is what's happened, right? In other relationships where you feel people, they don't want anything to do with you because you're married to a Nigerian, because of the perception. And I needed to also consider that, or the perception of the family, the perception of friends, the world out there. I might be rejected because I associated myself with Nigerian. But for me, when I was weighing that, it was not weighing enough for me not to marry a Nigerian man. So I was in a space where I'm okay with dealing with any perception about Nigerians, because I know the husband or the person I marry, right? So I will stand by that, and I'm happy with that. So I'm just giving example with me, or you will find yourself going through things because of the family you married to. So that also is a criteria that you have to consider when you are deciding to get married, or when you are married, or when you are in the relationship. And it might also determine whether you are in the right relationship or not, right? So let's go to another one, which is spirituality. I'm very spiritual myself, so I'm using spirituality because I'm very spiritual. I have nothing against any other person who believes otherwise, but because I believe in spirituality, it's also important because I want to grow in my spiritual life. I want to be a better worshiper to God, right? And for me, I believe that if you want to know if you're in the right relationship or not, is look at how your relationship with God develops when you are with this person. If you then start maybe neglecting your relationship with God, or you were somebody who prays 5 times a week or 5 times a day, now you're no longer even praying, you are so consumed with this relationship, you might need to then think of, this might not be the right person, because if that is one of your values that you have in your life, you might not want to compromise on that, because that is a very major value in one life who believe in spirituality, right? So I think that is one of the criteria that determine whether you are in the right relationship or not. So guys, I think I've mentioned all my 4 points that I said I'm gonna focus on, so that the video, it's not that long. Remember, it's a perception, right? I'm gonna mention some of the duties for us. I'm woman, so I'm gonna mention some of the duties of men that determine whether this is an extra, right? Duties that of a man that they do to show that they are the right person for you. Is a man would want to create wealth with you, right? They want to go and create wealth, but they would want to create it with you because they see you as themselves. So whatever they are developing, they will have to involve you, because if they're not well, or if anything is happening, whatever, you might be able to build or help them grow that wealth with them, because they consider you as themselves. So a man duties, another one, I would say, they build a home with you, right? They consider you and they build a home with you, and they look at you and find that you are a home builder, and then you can build a house and a home with them. And they will protect you and they will provide for you, right? They won't just say they love you by just saying it. They will look after you and your kids. And then the other thing, they will do what is right. Do you know a man who love themselves, right? The men who who understand who they are and they love themselves, they would definitely do you right, right? Most of the time they will do you right, and they will lead by the example themselves, right? And with that being said, I think there's more, but I'm just trying not to get this video long. So the other thing that I would say, the last before I then when you've realized you're not with the right person, what you should do, my perception, you don't have to take it, you can definitely leave it, right? The last statement that I want to make is that the quality of people in a relationship, the quality of people in a relationship, that determine the quality of the outcome in a relationship. we can argue that and say two quality people might not have to be together, but if we look at the criteria that I've mentioned at the top, they might actually, if we get that one right and we are two quality people, we might have a different outcome of a relationship, right? So what do I do when I realize I think I do not have the a right person in my life? Unfortunately, when you are married, you can't go ahead and say, now I want to divorce you. Yeah, I don't want what. So before we go there or anywhere else, we need to then understand that, okay, we have realized, because sometimes we marry young, we don't actually understand what is our purpose. We are figuring out ourselves out, right? Me, I married late. I was like 30 something. Let's not mention what age I was, because I might be telling you how old I am. So before we get there, let's just say I married late. I was 30 something, right? And I'm still on 30 something. Don't worry, I'm not yet above 30 something. I'm just almost there. So for those who are not married, do yourself a favor. If you think this is a frustration relationship, might be great now, but in the future I might not be enjoying, because the passion that I have, or the vision that I have, or the purpose and all those things, spiritual life, we are going separately. So you'd rather cut it off now, because you might enjoy it now and be crying for the rest of your life. But if you are married, you didn't know who you were, you were what your purpose was, you were still figuring yourself out. Now you'll figure out yourself. We can't just pack and go. Now we can have conversation with each other, stating what we are realizing about ourselves, and then what we would want life to look like going forward, right? Give each other opportunity to expose who we think we are now, and then find out how we feel about each other's vision and where we are going, and work it out, because we are not going anywhere. We're already committed till death do us part, and we are not being abused, we're not being beaten on that relationship, just that we have realized we have different passion. Like me, I never thought I can be in the YouTube talking, but as soon as I realized, I think I can be doing this, helping people, and I mentioned it to my husband. It was not something that I told him when I got married. No, it's something that I realized as I'm growing up. Oh, I do have this kind of gift that people seem to notice. And then I mentioned, and then he didn't have a problem. We worked it out. He's not somebody who likes to be in public, but if it makes me happy, why not? So those are the things in which you can try in your own relationship and just raise it up, and you might find he understand, and then you can still do this life together, right? That will be my advice from my side. So I hope you enjoy this video, guys. I hope you did. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more, for me to go more or deeper in this conversation, do say something down there. And people, please like my video and subscribe. Subscribe and make sure we grow and become this big family. And remember, this is Lutendo's Perception. Love you.